Hello everyone, this is Nathan Grayson with Kotaku, and today I'm taking a look at a new Steam game called Portal Knights. The idea behind this one, well, first off I should start by saying, this one pretty much rocketed to the top of the Steam charts shortly after releasing, so it's doing well, and people seem to be very interested in it. Which, I mean, if you just take a quick look at it, it kind of becomes apparent why. It's pretty zeitgeisty, it's a voxel world, you can explore, you've got all of this nice art. It's just in general a very appealing game, which is great. I'm glad to see a game of this type on Steam done at least remotely well. There's a lot of, Minecraft clones and things like that on Steam that are very poorly put together and are just not fun. But this game at least achieves a base level of competence in terms of the way that it looks and sounds and feels and controls, and that's a nice change of pace. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of it and then discuss kind of my misgivings with it and why I feel like it's, much as I hate to say this, with such a clearly lovingly crafted production, probably not worth your time. So first off, the game is divided up into, instead of being a large infinite world as in Minecraft where you can just roam and roam and roam and eventually find new areas on the virtue of you going further than you ever have before, this game is split up into a series of smaller world segments, all connected by these portals. So you go to each world, you fight enemies, and kind of go through little areas and little dungeons and things like that, and collect blocks that you can put into these portals, and they'll take you to the next world. The thing about that is that that's pretty much the game, and so yeah, I kind of did this area right before I started recording. It was fine. It wasn't a particularly exciting world, so I decided that I was going to take you, my wonderful viewers, who I love and adore, each and every one of you equally, to the next world with me. So let's go on this journey together. Here we go. Now, obviously, because it's a voxel game, each of the worlds is at least to a degree randomly generated, so it's tough to say exactly what we're going to get in that respect. We got grass. Oh my goodness, did we ever get grass. We got grass and trees and flowers and butterflies. We got a delightful place. Ooh, with cotton trees. I need this for building things, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that now. So yeah, this game has kind of the basics in regards to what you'd expect from this sort of game. You've got your ability to break down component objects, or break down objects into their components. You've got your workbench that you can put out wherever you want to, kind of like in Terraria, or I forget if Terraria had that, but I know Starbound does. Put that out wherever you want to, and then you can hop into it and use it. So I can go in here and, like, let's say, pretty lacking in the armor department, although in order to make that I first need to make some cotton cloth. So I'm going to make that out of the cotton I just collected. Super handy. Grab that from my inventory that is currently full. Okay, let's toss that here for now to make room. Put that in there, and then I can go in here and suddenly I have the ability to make all of this stuff. Again, if you've played any games like this before, this is probably all pretty par for the course for you. Ooh, I can even do scout armor now, which actually, I see, so these are for the other classes. If I was playing as, I'm playing as a mage, I could be playing as a warrior or a ranger though. Again, extremely basic classes, but yeah, so I could have the scout cap for the ranger or the squire helmet for the warrior. I'm a mage, so let's go with, I've already got my robes, but man, does that hat ever look stylish. Let's make this hat. Guessing I once again don't have inventory space because I've just been picking up everything. I don't want these bones. Just get rid of these bones. Oops. You go away. Then I will collect my newly made hat. And by that I mean I hope it's still here. Be quite upsetting if it was not. Huh. Well, that's a bummer. I guess I have to make another hat. No, because it's got this exclamation point over it. Ah, here we go. Easily accessible right there. I was just being stupid. Okay, so now I can go in here, equip my new hat. Hooray, I look great. And unlike in some games, it doesn't cause my hair to disappear. So again, it's actually things like that, like, I'm being a little facetious, but it's also things like that that make me like the presentation of this game so much, because there's clearly a lot of attention to little presentation-based details. It's a very nice looking game. It's got this nice inviting style to it. When I put on a hat, my hair doesn't mysteriously go away. And then the combat is pretty solid too. It sort of a mix of MMO combat and then like almost modern Zelda style stuff. So you've got your kind of stand-in for Z targeting and your ability to dodge, roll around enemies while they come at you. You can switch targets, all that stuff. The enemies, at least the ones I've encountered so far, attack in pretty straightforward ways. They just kind of come at you and do whatever their attack is, so they're pretty avoidable. Combat's very easy, even if you take some damage. Like, that was a lot of damage, I don't want to get hit again, but as long as I'm not stupid, I'm not going to get hit again. Then usually you can find health pretty easily. So I mean, it's all fine. After this, let me just finish this guy off, and then we can do a little bit more exploring. Yeah, the camera could use a little work, as you could probably notice just a moment ago. One more cotton. But yeah, so you can just sort of wander around each of the environments, collect stuff, level up, build more objects. You can even, you know, use stone or whatever other sorts of blocks to build your own little abode. But, it's not really very directed beyond that. Which, you know, there are pros and cons to that. If you want to hang out with friends and just sort of mess around, then by all means, because the game does have 4-player co-op. But if you're looking for this meaty experience to kind of dig into, even with friends, you might find this game lacking, at least in its current state. Bear in mind, it's in early access, so that's kind of to be expected. But at the same time, it does sort of seem like the core game that's there already is what they plan to expand upon. There's not going to be other elements to this game's core per se. Instead, they just sort of hope to add more content. I hate that word. But, that's kind of a shame, and I do hope they expand on something that I found in the tutorial, which was that there were these kind of little context-based quests. So, instead of, just wandering around aimlessly as I'm doing now, I got to, rather the game kind of said, hey, go to this one place and take care of these objectives here and do this and do that. And it was in service of teaching me the game's basic mechanics for sure. But the upside of that, I leveled. Hooray. The upside of that is that I did have something sort of generally telling me where to go and what to do. And I felt like I was making more, not directed, more tangible progress. I'm gonna go ahead and level up really quick. Again, sort of speaking to how basic the game is, the leveling system is also very straightforward. You can, you know, at some levels you can pick a new ability, but it's a pick between 2, or even just 1. It's actually very kind of inspired by modern day World of Warcraft. But yeah, they're not spectacularly exciting, and as far as I can tell, are there even any new skills in here? Or are they just stat based? Yeah, they're kind of just stat based and passive, which is not tremendously exciting. So I've just got my basic attack and that's about it. Yeah, I mean, this game is kind of just like you want to sit back and, hey, I found the portal. But it's hard not to sit here and be like, you know, this game is so basic that I'm surprised that I don't see it in line at Starbucks in the fall ordering pumpkin spice lattes and wearing a scarf. Like, it's real basic. And, you know, I know that there are boss fights and things of that nature, so there is something more to do, or at least a little bit more variety in the enemies beyond just really straightforward enemies that do attacks like this and don't really pose much of a threat. I've yet to encounter them. Let's see if we can find one of those. I'm gonna wander around for a little bit in this area, see if I can find kind of an area or a dungeon to delve into. This looks like it should be the beginning of a dungeon, but kind of one of the problems with these randomly generated games is that what you see is not always what you get. You may think that you're about to encounter something because of the signposting around it, like, hey, there's a minecart, of course this is going to be a dungeon, but instead it's just like a buried, awkward portal. Got a mighty mana potion, that's nice. Oh yeah, and as you can see, items have durability and stuff like that, so you've either got to craft new ones or repair them. I don't have a repair item right now, so I'm just going to trash these. Just fuck it. And instead, I'm going to go in and, did I do something stupid? Yeah, I left my workbench behind. Which is unfortunate because I do need that to build a new wand. So I guess I'll just build a new workbench. So they are not very expensive from a resource standpoint. And then I'll just toss it out somewhere. Again, in regards to littler details, the enemy lineups that you encounter do change at night. So now I've got these like blue marauding spirit skeleton things. Spooky. But they don't really pose much of a threat, and they kind of attack like the other enemies, which is to say, stupidly. Oh hey, here's some... Oh, that's just the same area I was already at. I keep getting excited by those lights and thinking, oh man, it's gotta be a dungeon. Instead it's just the portal again. Okay, let's use this. Hop in here, make myself another wand. Grab it off the table. And then break this down back into its component. Map that back to there, and we're in business. The business of wandering an infinite world. And slowly but surely losing our minds together. It's a lot like a family, except that we're not driving each other crazy, giving each other sands. It's actually nothing like a family. But yeah, so I really want to enjoy this game more than I do, and when I first started playing it, I was enjoying it a lot, because like it had been a long, stressful day, and I hopped into it, and it was so soothing and relaxing, and it was very just kind of, you know, go here, do this thing, explore this whimsical land full of magic and wonder, while these flutes lull you into a sense of security and adventure. But, you know, as I mined my way to the game's core, I found, somewhat fittingly, that it was hollow. Dodge out of the way of this little circle, because I don't want to get hit by lightning. There we go. Killed skeletons. Oh, I actually wanted to get into that bag. Oh well, I'll take out another one. one of them. Hey, yet another portal. I guess what that suggests is that I can go to different areas from, like, there's not just one singular path of the game. There's multiple portals in each area that take me to different locations. That's pretty neat. But still not the most compelling thing ever. Hey, look, it's the ruins of a house. That's, you know, mildly exciting. Which thus far I've learned is the most I can hope for from this game. Okay, let's do some inventory management. For one, why are these separate? Why do they not just stack? I don't want any of that. Like, okay, that's 2 inventory slots, so it's all good. Sharpening stone. That is nice to have because I can use it to make my objects less damaged. Here's some of these guys. I probably don't want to take on a whole pack of them all by myself. Surprised I haven't found any sort of like cave or dungeon like area yet. Hello down there. Woof. Hey there. Ah! Okay, this is no good. Okay, there's the other one. Ow. Your dick. I'm slightly underleveled for this area, but also I have a bunch of healing potions, so I'm not particularly worried. But yeah, so that's kind of this game in a nutshell. You've really seen a lot of what there is to see. I think now I'm going to jump forward to a boss fight. But other than that, you know, there you have it. Portal Knights, or in this case, Singular Knight. Alright, so here I've found at least a higher level enemy. I'm not sure if this guy counts as a boss, but he's got a cool yellow name, so that means something. And I think he's definitely big enough that I feel kind of an instinctive desire to not be hit by him. So it's a sign that he's something special. He's a big shot. He's a tough guy. He's cooler than me. Then my wand picked a very bad time to break. Also, like, this is just not a great battlefield. Oh, goodness gracious. Shit. Well, this is no good. Let's get out of here. Or at least out of his general vicinity before re-engaging. So it's worth noting this game does have a first-person camera as well. I'm just not using it. Oh wow, he healed right back up after we stopped fighting. So unfortunate. Oh great. Good to see you here, friend. Okay, let's finish this one off so he can't bother me anymore. I didn't get a little health out of him. Now back to slowly whittling away this big guy. The question is, can he do anything to me from here? I think the answer is no. Yep, we're just slowly going to take away his health. This game is, again, bear in mind, in early access. So there we go, we took him out. Let's make some room in my far too tiny, annoyingly tiny to be frank, backpack. Sure, well, I could actually use those. Yeah, whatever, I don't want those. Alright, so that was me taking out a bigger enemy. Other things you may have noticed since I was last running around. I got new pants. They up my health, and they have a much wider snaz radius, which means that within a certain radius, everyone around me says, oh man, those are really fucking snazzy pants. I want those really badly. It's not a real thing. But they do look good. They're red. That's my trademark pants color in real life, which is probably why I don't have many friends. But anyway, this area also looks really cool. This is definitely the coolest area that I've encountered so far. It's got all these pumpkins and stuff. It's like Alice in Wonderland meets Thanksgiving. So I appreciate the aesthetic at least. This portal's yellow, which probably indicates that it's a bit higher level. Let's say we try going through it really fast, just to see what lies on the other side. Although, I'm not sure if I have many yellow shards. May need to get those by defeating enemies in this area. Holy cow, I hate the inventory management in this game. It's just no good. The more I play this game too, the more I find that it just has a sense of like, it doesn't really feel like it has much of its own identity, nor does it really know what it wants to be. And you know, that's sort of always the danger of creating a sandbox game like this, is ending up in this place of, well, what even is your game? It's so formless and shapeless that it isn't really anything. Like if I try to describe this to somebody, I mean, what would I say? Like it's a, oh hey, that's really great, I'm glad that happened. Another actually, that's more evidence of this game not really like knowing quite what it wants to be. Why would you pair that kind of camera with worlds you can fall off of? It's not a great idea. But yeah, so you have this kind of existential crisis built into this game's design of, okay, so is it a fantasy adventure game? If so, why are the worlds not more suited to that? Why are they so open and aimless? Is it a building game where you make stuff with your friends? If so, why can you abandon a world and never come back to it? Why do you ultimately leave behind all the things you make? Oof, got a little deep into actual real-world existential questions there. But, you know, you have all of these questions intrinsic to the design, and the game doesn't really answer them as you play it. You just sort of hit these elements that brush up against each other but don't really come together to form anything cohesive. There's just this friction, but it's not pleasant friction. It's not like they're doing it. It's like, it's I don't know. It doesn't feel good. So yeah, that's sort of Portal Knights at this point. Just to give it more of its own fair shake, there are a couple things I want to do. First, I want to do a thing that I like doing in these games. I want to try to build all the way into the sky. Like, I want to see how high I can go. So I'm going to grab some more blocks really fast, and I'm just going to make a tower that I'm going to stand on top of. So that always makes me feel good about myself and life and things. Get some blocks. Oh yeah, since last I was recording, the lightning men that come out at night became firemen that come out at night. They're a bit tougher, but ultimately, you know, You can still deal with them. They're just kind of annoying. Especially in groups. So, I mean, okay. Like, here we go. That's a high point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to climb up there. And then from there, I'm going to deploy every dirt block that I have. And we will see how high I can go. Alright. Hopping and hopping. Hopping and hopping some more. The view's nice. Can definitely say that. These worlds have a cool look to them. I almost wonder what it would be like if it was this sort of world setup, only with more of like a Mario Galaxy dynamic, so you could run all the way around the world. I think that'd be neat. I feel like maybe a game already did that, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. If anyone can, you know, feel free to let me know. But okay, so, up we go. That appears to be as high as it will let me build. Which is a shame. I was hoping I could build further. Can I build further maybe on another... Well, now I've got this, like, lone flower at the top of the world. It's very poetic in ways that are not immediately meaningful, but you know, it's cool. It's aesthetically interesting. If I wasn't doing a video, I would take a screenshot. You know what? Still gonna take a screenshot. I don't care. And hey, now I can see that tower. I'm gonna go investigate that tower. Oh yeah. No fall damage. Kind of disappointed that I couldn't go higher with my blocks. That is certainly a letdown. Let's see, can I get stone from this? Because I really need stone to repair my wand. Come on, be a stone. Well, it's rune stone. I don't think that's what I want or need. But you know what? I think I can just build another wand. I think I have the right components for that. Let's find out. A 1, a 2, a table. Wand making music. Oh yeah. Cool. Now let's see what lies at the bottom of this dungeon tower. Well, no, this is just no good. Ow. You know what? Fuck it. There we go. So this is pretty neat. I mean, you do encounter stuff like this in the game. I found another couple dungeons like this. Another credit, as I've been going to higher and higher leveled areas, they have been becoming slightly more elaborate. Enemies in this game are pretty stupid, unfortunately. If you get the high ground or the low ground on them, they kind of just don't know what to do about it. Hey, stuff! Oh, thank God, sharpening stones. And so yeah, usually the goal of these little dungeon areas is to roam to the end, and then find a chest. Within the chest there's stuff, because everybody likes stuff. Wow, this guy's real dumb. He is faced with the door, and he is unable to cope. This one is smarter, but also slow and ineffectual. Come on now. There you go. See, if I just gently encourage them to die in soothing tones, they go right along with it. Come on. Now we just have to deal with a bat. Nature's humblest lightning shooting creature. Well, it's a gargoyle. There's another floor. What will we find? I wonder if it'll be bats and skeletons. Well, damn, I'm shocked. Ow! That really hurt a lot. Hey, I found the portal. This is not what I was expecting to find down here, to be perfectly honest. Ow. Okay, I am perhaps in over my head. What a shame. But, I think you get the idea. That's Portal Knights. Oh yeah, and I was saying earlier that there was another thing that I wanted to do before I ended this video. And that is that I want to actually read what they plan to add over the course of the game's early access period, because I feel like that's, you know, the fairest shake that I can give it. So, what is planned to differ from the early access version? The full version of the game will have more content. Worlds, monsters, bosses, crafting recipes, and beyond. However, we have ambitions for deeper RPG mechanics, more multiplayer features, in-game events, vanity items, and much more. That said, we want to keep our plans pretty loose so we can evolve the game based on feedback. So that's good and bad. The good thing is, you know, they plan to evolve it. They plan to be somewhat ambitious with that evolution. The bad thing is that it sounds like they don't really have a concrete direction for what this game is going to become. They have some decent-ish core mechanics. They have a very nice look, but I don't usually love it when games come into early access and say, we don't really know what we want to do with our game per se. We're just gonna kind of do what people tell us. That doesn't often lead to a cohesively or well-designed game. So, I'm a little wary. They say that they want to be in early access for at least throughout the year, or that they want to have a release candidate done sometime this year. So that's where the game is at. Portal Knights. It's a video game about portals and knights and wizards and all that jazz. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, send me a picture of your cat or your dad or whatever you want to, really. It's your call. You can do whatever you want. I believe in you. Goodbye.